Reading all the posts about being blindsided on this subreddit makes me feel like shit because that's what I'm about to do to her. In short, she is not meeting my needs. She is holding me back from my potential and dragging me down as she refuses to work on the problems she knows she has. But she loves me so much. We just got off a FaceTime call where she called me the light of her life and said we need to start thinking about how we're going to move in together after we graduate college. She just talked to her dad about our future together, and he was going to have a chat with me about it. I felt like an asshole hearing these things knowing it wouldn't matter because I'm about to break up with her. She saw a weird look on my face as she was talking about these things and asked what it was, but I just blew it off. Like and subscribe. We broke up once already, halfway through 4 months of long distance, for these same reasons, but got back together because she said she would work on these things while we're doing long distance. But I've been back in town for 3 weeks now, and it just isn't going to work. All of my friends say she's not the one for me. I was planning on breaking up after a concert that we had tickets for in 2 weeks, but she said if I go I need to act like I'm having a good time or it'll ruin the concert of a lifetime for her, and she'll feel guilty for making me go see something I don't like, a red flag in itself TBH. And I didn't want to ruin the concert of a lifetime for her by having the memory of her soon-to-be ex-boyfriend in it. So I suggested she go with my sister, who she's good friends with, instead, because she would be really excited to go. So that's happening now, but it throws off my whole timeline. And if I break up with her tomorrow, it'll completely blindside her. And I love her as a person, but we just don't match as partners. I feel like an asshole for doing this to such a wonderful person, and I don't know how I can make it better for her. Should I do it tomorrow? A week before the concert? A week after? How can I lead up to it? What would you all have wanted? Story 2. I manage a small digital marketing firm. The owner is usually in the background doing the big stuff, like networking and bringing in sponsors or big clients. I do almost all the hiring, and we use a virtual assistant HR company that tends to just forward me complaint emails, a separate issue. We have one staff member who has been with us since the company formed 10 years ago. Lola has an amazing creative mind, produces great work, and our clients adore her. Our last 3 major accounts we landed because of word of mouth that Lola works for us and us alone. She's also a joy to work with, very friendly, and a hard worker. I don't have any negatives about her performance over the 10 years I've worked with her. Lola has been very open with us about some medical needs she has. She's been open with the whole team, so it's not a huge secret or hush-hush, especially since her condition is degenerative and she'll slowly lose functionality over time. We've even all joined 5K runs as an office in her name, and when we have a chance to donate to a charity, it's almost always to charities that represent research for Lola's condition. I always thought that as an office, we had her back. Even before the pandemic, I noticed our younger, go-getter staff, 2 in particular who need a lot of attention and reassurance, complaining about Lola not meeting deadlines. The complaints increased drastically since the pandemic started. Lola works at a different pace than the rest of the team, but she's not missing deadlines. If something is due at noon on Tuesday and she has it submitted by 11:45 on Tuesday, that's not late or past the deadline. When we do project management, we set realistic goals and timelines for everybody on the project, taking into account the pandemic, childcare, access to materials, all of it. We consider the entire team's needs and the clients, not just Lola's. But I have the 2 staff who complain a lot that Lola's behind or not working as fast as they'd like, both of whom even went so far as to exclude her from a project and finish her work for her, which was unnecessary since, 1. The work they turned in wasn't what the client wanted and caused rework, and 2. They still had 4 weeks left until the deadline for a first draft. Both employees were told to stop doing that multiple times, and they were put on different projects so that they didn't need to monitor Lola's progress. Their bosses, who both report to me, agree with me that we should keep them off teams with Lola, but there is overlap in skill that we require for some projects. I just found out from our HR person that they've escalated their complaints about Lola to the owner, and their complaints are backed with no evidence about her inability to do her job on time, as well as a complaint about me that favoritism prevents me from making Lola meet her deadlines. Keeping them off projects with Lola and not pairing them up for other work is their main evidence of my favoritism. I think their behavior is based on ableism, and I know it's 100% not rooted in fact. If we lose Lola as an employee, I have no doubt in my mind our clients would go with her. The owner is frustrated that it's even come up and wants me to just handle it. My idea of handling it would be to advise those 2 employees in particular, nobody else backed up their HR complaint, to maybe find work elsewhere. What direction do I take with this? Like and subscribe. Update, December 9th, 2020, 1 month later. The day your answer came out, Lola asked to meet with me. We're still meeting via video since the pandemic has been in an upswing in our area. She's leaving to start her own company. While she wasn't aware of the behavior of the 2 staff members in question, she still felt it was time for her to move on regardless since she's getting a lot of attention in other places. We had the unpleasant choice of promoting one of the complainants to Lola's position until they both started bragging on social media. Another staff shared it to us out of concern for Lola, that they got her fired and are celebrating, which caused a huge backlash and at least 5 people almost quit. Did I mention we have a very small team of under 20? We did as much damage control as we could, and now we have 3 openings to fill. One of the commenters stated now is a great time to hire with so many hardworking people out of a job, and I have to say our executive team agrees. I wrote back and asked, am I reading correctly that you did end up firing the 2 who were complaining about her? We did, yes. It became a kind of you can't fire me, I quit type thing, but they were obviously not happy with us. Ironically, this morning I got contacted by a temp agency saying they had a great freelancer since we had openings. It was one of the 2. Lola was able to point some people our way, so all in all, as much as I wish we could have avoided that, I'm happy for her, and we have some great leads and don't have to worry about ableist and harassing behavior.